I've been able to understand that I won't be able to attend the meeting, in which case now we have to of the meeting, which then leads us to the procedure of having a nomination seconded, and then if that person is accepted, we proceed. Or if there's a second nomination, we put it to the vote so that the nominated person can proceed. Leads us to the procedure of having a nomination. You nominate.
Nominate honorable member.
That person is accepted. Okay. Or if there's a second. All right. Is that seconded? Nomination. We put it to the vote so that the
honorable member.
Okay. Or if there's a second. All right. Is that second? No other nominations.
Welcome honorable members to this meeting, honorable members of SCOPA to this meeting this morning. This morning we have the MEC for COPTA in KZN, honorable take us through the municipal investigations in KZN. Sorry, can we just mute? Can we just mute whoever's mic is on there? Can we just mute, please? Currently, we will then sit as COPA and will then decide on which municipalities will summon to National Assembly for hearings, because we are going to call municipalities for hearings to the SCOPA, because we have to call them for hearings. So, Honorable Shlemuga, welcome to this morning's meeting. Your report on the municipalities, and then thereafter we'll have engagement on your report. Honorable Shlemuga, are you? Honorable Shlemuga?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Also had led by the HOD, Mr. Duban. Chair, I will offer that in KZN we have 54 municipalities across, which comprise of 43 local municipalities and 10 districts and 1 metro. Then this report, Chair, it will relate to only 34 municipalities as identified by SCOPA, and 8 districts and eThekwini as a metro. Then the report will also amended as per the investigation that have taken place in different municipalities, and also present a report in terms of Section 106 of the Systems Act. Maybe, Chair, if I can just go straight to the municipalities, but I will request with your permission, Chair, if you allow, led by the HOD report to the SCOPA, go straight on the. I will request HOD from your team who will just lead us through. Thank you very much.
Okay, over to you, HOD, to take us through the report.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning to the members of the committee, the MEC, and the colleagues. Chair, we will present a report that details the various activities in municipalities, 34 of them, where the MEC had instituted Section 106. And we will also, Chairperson, make certain recommendations with particular the fact that the investigations is an end of the interest in coordination and we Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, and we asked that in respect of Section 106, even as late as a portfolio committee for cooperative governance and traditional affairs, we will plead declaration of possible amendments to the Section 106 because we feel our reports there is little that they do. The report, with your permission, we will co-present of the investigations in the department and all here to the colleague. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Mrs. Governor.
Greetings, Honorable Chairperson and members of SCOPA, my Honorable MEC, senior officials and colleagues. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members, for the opportunity to present. As the HOD indicated, my name is Sheetal Govender. I'm the Director of Forensic Auditing at COGTA.
Sorry, Mrs. Govender. Sorry to interrupt you. Mrs. Govender, sorry to interrupt you. Can you perhaps put on your... Yes.
It's okay.
That's for purposes of the TV transmission.
Thank you, Chairperson.
You can proceed.
Chairperson, the coordinator must allow me to share the screen in order that I can flight the presentation, please.
Mr. Kali, can you
on?
Okay.
I've asked IT to lead us towards that because I can't find that.
Thank you, Chair. As an introduction, honorable members, KwaZulu-Natal has 54 municipalities under its oversight, which is categorized by 1 metropolitan, 10 districts, and 43 local municipalities. This report relates to specifically those municipalities which SCOPA had submitted a schedule of municipalities by the Auditor General. This report specifically talks to those 34 municipalities, which is eThekwini, 8, pursuant to investigations, both Section 106 investigations, as well as internal municipal investigations, alternatively SIU investigations. The authority and the legislature, specifically under the auspices of COGTA KZN, and which are conducted at the instance of municipalities, as well as MEC for COGTA. Following the finalization of investigations in terms of Section 106 in relevant municipalities, who are then required or mandated to implement the recommendations contained therein, whilst the department also monitors the implementation of such recommendations. Although it is noted that we must say that municipalities do take steps to implement the reports and respond positively in some instances, but this is not without challenge. Furthermore, although many reports may be provided, they don't adequately respond.
Sorry to interrupt you. Mrs. Governor, sorry to interrupt you again. Sorry to do this to you. You can now start projecting.
Thank you.
ITF.
No problem. We are sharing.
Okay. It's visible now. Thank you.
All right, let me proceed then. As indicated, although progress reports are received by municipalities, they may not necessarily adequately respond to each and every recommendation made in a forensic report. And even when they do report, the results sometimes are quite disillusioning. In that, in many instances, particularly with disciplinary action, the trend that we find is that many officials resign prior to disciplinary matters being finalized or even being instituted in some instances. There's civil recovery recommendations which we make where the proceedings are either delayed or find is that often the civil of section 300 of the criminal you have to wait for ending for prolonged is the reality. Whilst efforts are made to initiation of recommendations, not all municipalities also provide regular and sufficiently, but the department has adopted a cooperative approach by engaging municipalities at an administrative level and requesting engagements with councils was political level. Section 1061B of the Systems Act does not provide for any enforcement mechanisms. So the department is left with attempting cooperative measures to ensure implementation. And prior to any legal recourse being used by the MEC, certainly we are then met with spheres of government to ensure that they are to take another sphere of government to court to present as much of some of the information data presentation follows the sequence as provided. Though the report required is in respect of consequences in respect of the schedule, but we will report on these nonetheless. So I want to mention that a crucial element of these investigation reports also relate to UIFW. And a crucial element of presented, I will also talk to other investigations in respect of these 34 municipalities, which are not 106 investigations, report which was outlined by the affected municipalities in relation to the investigations conducted. The first municipality that we talked to is Abakolometi during the 2016-2017 financial investigation was concluded that took place in 2020. The disciplinary process of the accounting officer has been impacted by litigation which the management, and in this regard, the MEC for COGTA authorized an investigation in terms of which I will talk to on the next slide as well. It commenced early this year and it has been finalized. A draft report was reviewed and the MEC will shortly be considering the report. The investigation specifically started in March 2020 and has been finalized. This, however, then will be tabled at Abakulusi municipality with a requirement by the MEC for COGTA for the municipality to respond of the report. We will then monitor the issue of consequence management with regard to Abakulusi municipality. In respect of the 2016-2019 period, the update provided was that the manager, assets and inventory resigned before the outcome of the investigation was submitted to the municipality. However, although the official resigned, civil action which was instituted against party pending and reconfigured as this was a criminal case has been 2019. The outcome of the criminal investigation is still awaited. With misconduct, where the scope made reference to 60 period in these investigations with 38 finalized and penalties ranging from final cases, however, disciplinary process. At Alfred Duma, again, there is a further investigation by the MEC for COGTA in terms of citation. The scope of this investigation was extended by approval also by and consideration of the cabinet in KwaZulu-Natal, and the extended scope of investigation and investigation shortly for the MEC's consideration as well. With regard to Amajuba District Municipality, in terms of the SCM regularities reported during the 2011-2012 financial year, an investigation was conducted in respect of the investigation conducted. The report was submitted to the Hawks and to the National Prosecuting Authority for further. Municipality attends the court on the invitations of the Hawks, but is not playing any significant role as the matter is squarely within the domain of the Dumbe local municipality. An allegation of hacking and changing of service providers' banking details or an incident did occur. The incident was as a result of this matter is still under criminal investigation. Also has conducted a section 1061B investigation, and in this regard, the allegations grass cutting finalized, and again, a report will be considered the SCM regularities within the 2016-2017 financial year, which implicated one official and tabled the investigation report at the municipality, which then again the official subsequently resigned before the conclusion of the disciplinary hearing. The amount of pension. With regard to Ndumeni municipality, and as reported in the 17-18 financial year, where fraud allegations were made against municipal officials, the MEC conducted an investigation in October 2018. The recommendations were made against for disciplinary action against the councillors of the municipality as well as SCM officials. Recommendations were made for civil recovery against a councillor as well as officials and service providers. And we also recommended criminal action concerned and officials and service providers. Recommended against the councillor concerned could not proceed as the councillor immediately resigned after the tabling of the forensic report. Disciplinary action was in 2018, remains pending. Criminals have been reported to SAPS. Recovery in respect of the two cases, the municipality is applying for an order, which I mentioned, Honorable Chairperson, in my introduction, which seems to be a trend now. The municipality is applying for an order in terms of Section 300 of the Criminal Procedures Act for recovery criminal action for the municipality to see any the SCM manager are pending. The disciplinary remain pending to date. With regard to Itegweni municipality, we note that in 2018-2019, what was reported, it is unknown at this stage because the information clearly has not been provided, that which officials, councillors or service providers, financials of the municipality, it appears that council approved 270,125,650 rands worth of write-offs and 80 million 400. The information provided doesn't tell us who are these implicated officials, who are the councillors, and who are these service providers. Currently, as the matters are pending, it is unknown as to which councillors, which officials, or which service providers may be implicated based on the findings or the findings in terms of consequence management, as this matter is pending. There are a number of ongoing investigations which have been conducted and which are being conducted as to which officials or councillors or service providers are implicated. Investigations concluded, and those matters were referred back to Itegweni to request progress on what's been, we have not had a response to that. So this is concerning, and we must then monitor this quite closely. With regard to Harigwala District Municipality, in terms of the first issue relating to irregularities on procurement of goods and services from 10 service providers, from the information provided by the municipality, and where there are not Section 106 investigations authorized by the MEC, these investigations are municipal investigations. Hence, we rely on the municipalities to be transparent with COGTA and to then this related to the procurement of goods and services for 10 service providers. There is no information provided on which officials, again, which councillors or service providers that may be implicated in these investigations. And what we've reported, or what has been reported to us only, is that no action is required, investigated. And out of that investigation, the recommendation that was made was to improve internal controls. With regard to the next matter, which was the financial misconduct by the former accounting officer, clearly it is the former accounting obligation, although it seems to be appearing on the schedule that is provided by the Auditor General. With regard to misappropriation of funds and payment of fictitious employees, this implicated municipal officials, and some monies in this regard were recovered, and other matters were, as a result of this investigation, and this matter was suspended, and the investigation is currently in progress. With regard to Ilembe Municipality and fraud, financial misconduct, and SCM irregularities, and this matter remains in progress, which will be completed by the end of November 2020. It clearly implicates officials, but until such time that the matter is finalized, there is no consequence management that can be implemented until the investigation is concluded and the report is tabled in council for implementation. On the possible irregularities relating to SCM processes, this matter is also in progress, which will be completed by Ilembe by the end of November 2020. Again, it implicates officials only and will be implemented. There were 5 allegations of possible misappropriation of the municipality's assets, irregularities in SCM and expenditure management during the period 2014-2018, as provided on the schedule by the Auditor General. It is reported, or it can be municipality, in terms of Section 106(1)(b), and a report was tabled at a meeting of council against municipal officials. There were 3 recommendations to report matters criminally, and these criminal reports, or the criminal action, related to a councillor, officials, and a service provider. In terms of report, there were 4 recommendations for disciplinary action that were made in the Section 106 report at Jozini. But this disciplinary action could not be instituted against the former MM and the former CFO, as they were no longer employed by the municipality. Officials who were disciplined and who were sanctioned, and 1 official was found not guilty of the charges preferred. There were criminal matters that were reported, and we can confirm this, that they were reported to SAPS under Jozini CAS number 128 of the NPA. NPA has declined to prosecute these matters. What is of grave concern as we go along, honorable members, is that who often escape, whilst junior officials seem to be sanctioned and seem to be disciplined in most respects. Of the allegation or the investigation into awarding of a contract for the supply of photocopiers, there were 4 found not guilty, and 5 officials pleaded guilty to the offences or the charges that were preferred against them, and sanctions were imposed between prepaid electricity vendors and former employees. As indicated, the former employees were implicated in the matter. The implicated officials were no longer in the employ of the municipality. Hence, no disciplinary action could be taken against the officials in respect of the outcome of any investigation. In management, this related to ex-staff members and there is an investigation which was conducted by Provincial Treasury, and the municipality is awaiting next matter of unauthorized payment of salaries. This also related to ex-staff members and implicated staff members. It is reported also implicated ex-staff members of the municipality, and again it is reported that the staff members had left the employ of the municipality. As I indicated, honorable members, is a serious concern, because here there are losses. There's theft of diesel, unauthorized payment of salaries, which then translates to financial loss to the municipality. Yet it's not reported as to what recovery measures have been implemented by Mapumulu to recover these losses. With regard to Mfolozi local municipality, there were allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration, which was tabled in March 2017 at Mfolozi municipality, where recommendations were made. There were 6 recommendations made to discipline officials. There was one recommendation made to based on the reports received by the municipality, 6 recommendations for disciplinary action could not be instituted again against the FOCTA. The municipality had appointed a presiding officer and a prosecutor to institute the disciplinary process. Criminal matters, as indicated by the municipal manager, has been reported to Kwambonambi Police Station, and this criminal investigation, is pending. The 2 recommendations for civil recovery against the former CFO were not the result of the poor prospects of success. Two recommendations for civil recovery against the former were not implemented, and 1 recommendation for civil recovery against service providers also remains unimplemented. The municipality is still to recover and to institute proceedings against the former as well as the service provider for civil recovery. With regard to Moyo-Mpofana municipality, and where the allegation or the confirmed that the municipality had undertaken, or the MEC for COGTA, had undertaken an investigation in terms of section 1061B at Moyo-Mpofana municipality, and subsequently tabled a forensic report in council on the 12th of November 2018. The report then made recommendations, 6 recommendations to institute disciplinary action against municipal officials, 3 recommendations for criminal action against officials and service providers, and 4 recommendations for civil recovery against officials. The report that has been provided to the department is that the 4 recommendations for disciplinary action could not be instituted against the former municipal manager, as he was no longer in the employ of the municipality. 1 recommendation to discipline BEC and BAC members was implemented. Remaining BEC and BAC members were withdrawn due to insufficient evidence. 2 officials against whom disciplinary proceedings had commenced and were suspended were reinstated, and cases were withdrawn again due to insufficient evidence, and the matters are currently under investigation. We can, however, report that the municipality has not instituted any civil recovery proceedings in view of engaging the asset forfeiture unit. In respect of Msinga local municipality, an investigation has been completed, and this regard was investigated, and the recommendation was for the to register a criminal case with SAPS. In this regard, the municipality has reported that the criminal case to be instituted is yet to be instituted against the former MP. With regard to the allegation of fraud, corruption, theft, recruitment, mismanagement, and supply chain management irregularities reported in 2018-2019 financial year, for now, this matter remains under investigation. The MEC for COGTA had instituted an investigation in terms of section 1061B of the Systems Act into these allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration, and particularly in respect of various contracts, misconduct by councillors, inflation of security costs, amongst other allegations, which commenced in August 2019. This investigation has been finalized or has been conducted, and a draft report is with the MEC for his consideration and final approval. Reported that a previous investigation into fraud, corruption, and maladministration was also conducted 30th of September 2020, and the council has been given 21 days within which to revert to the MEC with its resolution on the implementation and its action plan in relation to implementing the recommendations of the report. The report has made various recommendations to report criminal conduct to SAPS, to discipline officials within the municipality, and to implement civil recovery in terms of Section 32 of the MFMA. This matter will be monitored, and a report and a council resolution will be received with these recommendations. As reported in respect of unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, Traffic Management Center, corruption in awarding tenders, awards to companies who lacked requisite skills and or capability of 500,000, the appointment of staff in senior positions who are either incompetent and or not qualified for senior positions, the ICT process and procurement thereto, fraud, corruption, and dishonesty of councillors, and poor decision making. This investigation is partially complete. There are 16 employees who are implicated in this investigation, and 82% of the councillors are also implicated in these investigations. With regard to the 16 employees, 9 employees have matters are in progress, of which 2 are to be completed by mid-October 2020. 1 employee has since passed on before finalization of the matter, and 3 new additional employees have also been charged. In terms of the councillors, implicated councillors were given 7 days to make representations to the ministerial representative. It must be noted that this municipal representative has been active or proactive in terms of implementing consequence management. So in that regard, the councillors, the rest of the submissions from councillors remain in progress. The MEC has appointed an investigating officer to investigate allowances. Charges against councillors and the former speaker are currently pending. Again, continued our case numbers for matters reported to police, and the honourable members can see these various CAS numbers. Municipality, and in respect of irregularities on duplicate payments made to suppliers, in this regard, an investigation was concluded and service providers were implicated in this matter. Recommendations of the investigation are currently being recovered from other service providers. Unfortunately, some service providers have not cooperated, and the municipality has handed over, and particularly on SCM regularities reported during 2016-2017 financial year. The investigation was conducted on supply of fuel, on the supply, repair, and delivery of tires for Newcastle municipality, on the investigation on the various service providers as well as officials are implicated. The matters, however, are still awaiting decision for council to implement recommendations, the budget to the procurement plan. It must be noted, however, and I am aware, honourable members, that Newcastle municipality monitor what decisions are taken by council in implementing these investigation reports. With regard to Nkandla local municipality and for financial misconduct, fraud, and improper conduct reported in the 2015-2016 financial year, the MEC for Kokta instituted an investigation in terms of Section 1061B at Nkandla, and a report was tabled, disciplinary action, where 14 recommendations were made to discipline officials, and there were 4 recommendations made to officials could not be implemented, as again, they were no longer in the employ of the municipality. 6 recommendations were implemented with 11 officials disciplined and sanctioned. 4 recommendations have not been implemented but have been mandated to the mayor to implement. So in that regard, it does appear that the municipality, or not appear, it is we must report to you that what was implemented and what sanctions were imposed here were written warnings. And I'll again talk to the thread of the sanctions that are being imposed by various municipalities, where for serious offenses, like Josini did as well, they issue sanctions like written warnings for serious offenses, which the offense that was committed. However, they take the disciplinary action as a separate sphere of government, having their own institutional integrity. We have no say the sanction that they impose. With regard to 4 recommendations for civil recovery year and written off by council, the department has not closed this matter as we are engaging in Kadla municipality off by council of the irregular expenditure. Often we find that municipalities don't implement Section 32 fully, don't conduct the investigations into the irregular expenditure, and determine whether anyone is liable for that irregular expenditure or not, and also confirm that the monies are irrecoverable, as that is the criteria in terms of Section 32. Investigation or the investigation related to the state of governance and administration of the previous council of the municipality. In this regard, it is reported that lawyers were appointed, but the investigation was not done. That is all the detail that as the councillor were implicated in the matter. With regard to Okoshlamba local municipality, and as reported, investigation into allegations of misappropriation of funds receipted and not banked. This investigation was partially concluded. Question has resigned from the pension benefits and back from the pension fund in respect of the timing for the payment shortfall from the former employee. So it is currently being criminally investigated or prosecuted. The matter was referred to the Commercial Crimes Unit, which investigated the matter and subsequently referred the matter to NPA for prosecution. With regard to Rain Konyeni local municipality and specifically allegations of fraud at the former Ezingolweni municipality before the merger, the MEC conducted an investigation into these allegations in terms of Section 1061B, and a report was tabled at a meeting of council. Discipline officials and councillors. 9 recommendations were made for criminal action, and 5 recommendations were made for civil recovery. So former Ezingolweni were not in other legal considerations. 2 recommendations to discipline members of the bid evaluation committee who remain in the employ of Rain Konyeni have not been implemented. However, the municipality has reported that advice was being sought from council have been quantified, and the municipality will be applying for an order in terms of Section 300 of the Criminal Procedure Act. This has been done under KZ number 1410 of 2018. There is a challenge with regard to criminal investigation. In this regard, have requested the municipality to actually assist them in the criminal investigation. The municipality has gone to the extent of actually appointing service providers to assist SAPS in finalizing their criminal investigation into the issues of financial misconduct in this investigation. With regard to Richmond local municipality, the investigation of grant spending during the period 2017-2018, we can confirm that the investigation into these allegations had commenced in terms of Section 1061, considering shortly for tabling at Richmond municipality. With regard to Mdoni local municipality and the loss of funds and various supply chain management issues, the investigation into this allegation was on March 2018. Recommendations that were made related to disciplinary action, there were 7 recommendations made. The MM of this municipality again could not be implemented as he was no longer in the employ of the municipality. One again, he resigned prior to the matter being finalized. However, it must be reported that the mayor had taken it upon himself to report these matters nonetheless to South African Police Services. Recovery will be implemented after an investigation into irregular expenditure by the Special Investigating Unit. information is provided. The SIU will also be processing all civil recovery on behalf of the municipality following its investigation, as in terms of its mandate, it is allowed to do so. With regard to Mgungundlovu District Municipality, and particularly allegations of maladministration and improper conduct by officials reported during the 61B of the Systems Act, into various allegations of maladministration and improper conduct by officials. This commenced in February 2020, has been concluded, and again, the draft report has been reviewed and submitted to the MEC, who will also be considering this report for tabling in Mgungundlovu shortly. It must also be reported that the SIU are also conducting an investigation at Mgungundlovu, and this investigation, with regard to Mkanyakude District Municipality, and particularly on the SCM irregularities and financial misconduct on procurement, the forensic investigation into the procurement of HDPE pipes by Kelma Consulting has been concluded, and the investigation report implicated the former accounting officer, the former CFO, the SCM manager, and service providers. Recommendations to institute disciplinary and criminal action, recover the expenditure of 10,924,807 Rand in terms of Section 32(2)B was not implemented. Due to the time which has lapsed as the investigation was conducted in 2013, it will no longer be worthwhile to exercise, it will no longer be a worthwhile exercise to pursue disciplinary or criminal actions against any of the alleged offenders. Please note, Honorable Councillors, that this is not the view of COGTA. This is the progress provided by the municipality, where they are indicating that due to the lapse of time, that disciplinary or criminal action will not serve any purpose. It is accepted that disciplinary action clearly will one employee, but certainly the municipality must consider civil recovery and right, but criminal action will not. Misconduct on procurement, forensic investigation into alleged irregularities of the procurement of water tankers, and to look into reasons for water tankers' ineffectiveness. Again, the matter dates back to 2012-2013, which was conducted by Kelma manager and a service provider. Again, recommendations were made to institute disciplinary and criminal action, recover funds, and to write off expenditure. But again, what is reported is that due to it will not be a worthwhile exercise for the municipality to discipline or to institute criminal action against any of the alleged offenders. And that, again, as I indicated, is not the view of COGTA, is what is reported by the municipality. In respect of SCM irregularities and with regard to a concluded, and the investigation implicates the former accounting officer, again, the SCM manager, PwC, service providers, various service providers. In this regard, the investigation has made, or the investigation report makes recommendations to institute disciplinary and criminal action, recover funds, and to write off debt were not implemented. COGTA has done an analysis of the investigations and has made recommendations to tracks for impact prior to making recommendations to either write off or to recover. If it is established that the value for money was not derived in some contracts, recovery of funds may still happen in some cases, as the report was concluded in June 2019. This matter is then pending. With regards to SCM irregularities and contract management on fleet management, the service provider for irregular expenditure of 70,097,655 Rand. No disciplinary action against the official that reneged from their obligations to implement effective contract management will happen in some cases, as the report was concluded in June 2019. In terms of SCM irregularities and financial misconduct on procurements relating to 2018, 2019, 2019, and 2020 financial year, this is still in progress. With regard to Mgeni local municipality, and particularly in relation of MIG funding, as well as allegations of nepotism, corruption, and this investigation is underway, which is due to be concluded by December 2020. Consequence management will then be monitored following the final. In relation to alleged fraud and corruption regarding the renovation of the Memorial Hall, the building of the testing ground and traffic departments, the procurement of municipal fleet, drastic increase in expenditure on entertainment activities, procurement and contracts awarded for the appointment of security. In this regard, an investigation was conducted and authorized by the former Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, and a joint investigation team finalized an investigation report, and the former Premier tabled the report in council. However, currently the status of the matter is that the municipality has challenged the authority of the former Premier to conduct the investigation or authorize the investigation, and has requested various documents in relation thereto. They have appointed legal representatives in the matter, and the bottom line is that the municipality, district municipality, and in relation in terms of section 106(1)(b) was concluded into the matter and tabled in council in October 2019. Recommendations made to recover civilly from officials and service providers, and 4 recommendations made for criminal action against officials who are quite senior officials, being the CFO, the former had left the employ of the municipality. 1 recommendation has not been implemented against an official who remains in the employ of the municipality. There is no civil recovery that has commenced in the matter, and they are firm that the municipality has reported all criminal. Municipality honorable members are under intervention or the ministerial representative to ensure that this matter now moves forward with speed, and that all these recommendations are implemented as they are. Met with the current administrator as well as the former administrator in this regard, and they will certainly be moving with some momentum. Administration, fraud, and corruption regarding irregularities in SCM processes that were appointed in the appointment of service providers that formed part of the investigation, the 106 investigation, and implicated officials and senior management of the municipality. Recommendations were made to discipline these officials. However, the as well as the CFO had resigned or had left them under criminal investigation. With regard to Mzumbe municipality, particularly on an allegation of fraud, corruption, and maladministration, an investigation has been concluded in this regard in terms of section 106(1)(b) of the systems of the municipality. A draft report has been submitted to the Office of the HOD and the MEC this investigation, and we will shortly be briefing the MEC on the findings and the recommendations for his consideration and his approval for tabling at Mzumbe. After which, as I indicated previously, we will continue to monitor consequence management. Investigation relating to financial misconduct and fraud. Currently, there is an issue has been concluded, and a report has been subjected to legal review and submitted to the MEC for consideration jointly. The report has made various recommendations, the draft report against officials and former officials. However, we will not discuss the matter until these reports are tabled in the municipality and considered for implementation. An investigation again in terms of section 106 at Zululand. A report was initially tabled in council on the 14th of May 2020. However, subsequent citing the failure to consult certain individuals in the municipality. The MEC, without prejudice, then responded by providing the officials, including councillors, a further opportunity to respond or to be interviewed in respect of the allegations contained land in September 2020 to convene a meeting to table the amended report. This was then declined by the Speaker as an application has been launched by Zululand municipality in the High Court to set aside this investigation, as well as senior councillors, political office bearers in this municipality. The allegations are very serious, the findings are very serious, but clearly the municipality has decided to go the legal route to prevent us as COGTA from tabling this report and from ensuring that they implement the findings and recommendations of the report. That being said, since the matter is subject to litigation, we are considering other options in relation to ensuring that this report is implemented. Honorable members, that is the presentation on the 34 municipalities. And as I indicated, these are even conducted by the municipalities themselves or are being done by the SIU. And what is clearly visible from the presentation, or unauthorized, irregular, and fruitless and wasteful expenditure. We, as the department, expend funds in doing so. Municipalities, as with the implementation of these reports, where municipalities, as much as they may be seen to be implementing, this public confidence, particularly in relation to consequence management. We are overseeing in relation to Section 1061B investigate, as the report shows, there are various investigations that they themselves have conducted in the country itself, where officials are being recycled within the country and within the province, who resign prior to disciplinary matters being finalized, and we find them then being appointed in various other institutions or other municipalities in senior positions. That is that as much as we make conclusions on what monies have been lost, they're not being recovered. And even when attempts are made to recover these funds, much time has passed and these claims even prescribed. So that is an issue, honorable members. And as I said, while we continue to carry out these investigations, these have become a serious cost driver, as most municipalities merely refer these investigations to COGTA, even where the municipalities have their own capacity to undertake own investigation of call, and the obligation lies conducting investigations where they pick up irregularities within the municipality. With regard to the criminal investigations, we also note a serious challenge with various matters referred to SAPS, where the criminal investigations are slow. There are very few prosecutions that proceed, and those that do proceed don't necessarily yield. And for allowing me to present. Thank you, honorable members.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Govender, for the presentation. I will ask Sisintombi questions or make some input. So, is there any member that would like to say anything? I am not on the chat group, so I cannot see.
Ms. Mente.
What? Okay. Before we give Ms. Mente, I just want to find out from Mr. Kali, is the SIU in this meeting, is the AG present in the meeting, is the Hawks present in the meeting?
I've identified AG, but not SIU and the Hawks.
Yes, because it was very important, as the chair said, that when we deal with these issues, we want the SIU. In fact, they settled in the committee with us, SIU and the Hawks needs to be present. Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, I haven't identified them unless they've used gadgets that we can.
Honorable Mente first. Honorable Mente, the platform is yours. Honorable Mente. Honorable Mente, is Honorable Mente there on the platform? It seems like we've lost Honorable Mente. Can we go to Honorable Bernice and then we'll go back to Honorable Mente, please?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I've got a bit of a challenge with my video, the MEC. HOD and officials. Chair, I've got a few questions deriving from the presentation given to us. Harry Kuala Municipality. None of the municipal staff service providers cannot take advantage of the municipality without assistance from officials. A. Decide in Ngutu, Chair, no officials were held accountable, although lawyers were appointed. How much was paid to the appointed lawyers? Why were officials not investigated? Why did the municipality not use the SIU in these cases? Thank you, Chair.
Okay, can we go to the next? Who's next?
Okay, sorry, just a minute. Ms. Mendes sent a message to say her network is cut off. Please ask why official. Oh, she's back now? Okay, okay.
Thank you, Honorable Mentor is back. Thank you very much. Honorable Mentor, the floor is yours. Honorable Mentor, you are breaking. Let's move perhaps to the next member that wants to ask questions, because Honorable Mentor is breaking. We can't hear her. Mr. Kali, can you please assist here?
Okay, let me just read what Ms. Mendes' question is.
Okay.
Please ask this is laid against those who left municipalities after looting. Them leaving doesn't mean they are dead.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Kali. Mr. Kali, who's next? Who's next? Which member is next? Mr. Lees. Honorable Lees. Citizen Tombi?
Yes.
We can't hear. We can't hear Mr. Honorable Lees. Who's next after Honorable Lees?
That was only him.
No one else?
Yes.
Mr. Lees is still not on. We'll give him a second bite. We'll allow the officials to answer those questions. But with a few questions I would like to put out to officials to on this first round. The first one is to Honorable MEC. MEC, I think there's a serious problem when we allow municipalities to do investigations themselves. There's a problem if you allow them to investigate themselves. I believe that when there's municipality, the municipality should rather be reported to the MEC of Kokta in order for an investigation to be instituted. It's very problematic when we have a situation where municipalities investigate themselves. That's the first one. The first comment I want to make. The second comment is run these municipalities as their own private municipalities. Then there's another issue, the sense here that these municipalities, it seems like they don't understand their role. And the chairpersons of these MPECs are such a crucial position, the chair of MPECs to in the municipalities as chairpersons of Honorable MEC. The first one is the issue of integrity municipality. You have explained to us about the investigations and what is happening currently. There's a report, an old report in that municipality, which is the Manasa report. No action has been taken on that report out of the past. Now, we would like to do that before we even start talking about what is happening currently, because I believe the rot have started a long time ago and it was not addressed. The Manasa report has never seen the day of light, and we need to deal with that report. Then the second issue is the issue of Richmond, Honorable MEC. Richmond as one of the municipalities we're going to may have laid charges in that with the police in that municipality. I've seen a video where the TA went and laid charges there. And regarding the forestry, which is part of the complaint that has been raised by the DA. The forestry issue, I believe that you have done another forensic report on the forestry, and leadership, they feel they can just run the municipality the way they feel like running it. And we have decided the scope, but this is one of the municipalities. So therefore, we need to have time frames from your MEC. When will the report be tabled by the when the report will be tabled at full council, and what about the other report on the investigation on the forestry that has totally collapsed and the income has totally run because what that has taken place there. So we need to know about the second report to MEC. Thank you very much. We can hand over to the MEC and to his team to respond to these questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Can I request the? Thank you, Chair. Can I request the team led by the HOD to respond? I will then come later when there are issues that they have omitted. Thank you very much.
Okay, HOD and then your team.
I think at the conclusion of our presentation, we did highlight some of the critical challenges that we are encountering with regards to the implementation of these rules, which recommendations they want to implement. That presents us with a challenge. Secondly, there is a serious lack of coordination within the law enforcement agency when it comes to the implementation of some of the your point agencies are part of things where we invoked the municipality tabled the report to the SIU or granted us to further continue and done it. We have handed to the municipality and the municipality and what more do you want us to do? So we that to that, the consequence management regime is being undermined at municipal or they implemented to maneuver and make other alternatives so that they can avoid the section 106, and it ends there. There is no provision that empowers the MEC to proceed and implement and enforce the implementation of the recommendations. And we're saying that space is reserved for yourselves as the people who are charged with the development of the law. And we're pleading that look into that matter. Discipline is undermined. Life sentences, which has got no consequence when you concern deliberately, so as to undermine. We are seeing want to challenge them and take them to court, and we know why. Because they do not want these reports to be tabled plain. A case in point is that one of a Zululand, which is the subject of litigation. Those municipalities that are under intervention, they are under certain. That tells you that there is a correlation between the invocation of Section 139(1)B as well as the Section 106 investigation, especially on these municipalities are frustrating or are unable for whatever reason to implement this. Another challenge, reference is made here on the value of the MPEC. Is critical. The challenge is that it's a legislated framework, both at a provincial as well as at a national level, by force of law. So if they play such a crucial role, what stops the legislatures from creating a legal provision for the further suggestion to say, please consider for the establishment of these MPECs and provide the guidance. We agree with her observation. Municipalities, when they conduct that, in certain instances, municipalities with a view, it is part of municipalities to effect consequence management. And in many instances, we have seen that is our experience, gets outsourced to us as COPTA. Choose some of them, not all, to bring it to us. And sometimes they do it on consequence management regime. We will probably, and they will explain why they have. With regards to the investigation in Josini and that, or matters that have been referred to the police within the police, and therefore we can't have access to the reports as to know, it would have been preferable for the law enforcement answer to some of these issues as well. No knowledge of this Chairperson, because it was an internal investigation by Ngutu. We may do a follow-up and they inquire from them. But as I've said, that the decision of the reserves. Why Honorable Mende is when we interact with municipalities, but why are you not implementing them? And I'll go back to the cry I've made that our hands are tied to a certain extent because there's no. You are asking the Chairperson, you're asking the MEC the problem of municipalities houses. They've got an obligation to conduct their own investigations. I often say and decry this in platforms where municipalities are present and make a point that the question of discipline within a municipal space is reserved for municipalities. They must discharge that responsibility in where we feel that there are instances that have been reported or that have come to the attention of the MEC. The MEC does not hesitate to conduct his own investigation. Toothless earlier on. The report on the forensic investigation that has been conducted by the municipality would have been tabled at the municipality. That is our report that we have done. The second issue on the issue of the forest, we are also aware that this matter was referred to the police. Another avenue might be to check how far this matter is with the police. So I think those are the questions. I was one of the officials who accompanied the former MEC to table the Manasseh report. We spelled out the recommendations and the municipality began implementing the recommendations of Manasseh report. The Manasseh report has been dealt with, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, the HOD have tried to the committee. maybe as a matter of emphasis, Chair, that into institute in the forensic investigation. However, as the HOD have alluded, we don't forensic investigation because the Act says we need, after we finalize the investigation, we need to table to the country leadership from national to reconsider the amendment of that Act if we really want to see the consequence management taking place. I think he have made a number of examples why we are saying that. There are a number of investigations that have been tabled. Yourself, Chair, you have raised the consequence management in terms of the recommendation that they have made. And I think until we deal with that issue, we will able to say we've done our work and there will be no wasteful expenditure in terms of investigation because there will be implementation of consequence management. Okay. The investigation done by the municipalities, you can say we can't say municipalities they must not investigate themselves as the council is a final arbiter. Now, the question that we need to ask our a decision to do that, and the answer will say yes or no. It will depend on the conscience of each and every councillor or employee then. Because another question might be asked in doing at the Department of National Treasurer, and then National Treasurer, they institute the who is investigating and what will be a decision after that in terms of implementing the recommendations of the forensic. In terms of law, municipalities they are allowed to institute forensic investigation. Now, it's a how part that we need to deal with if those investigations, as the honorable members, they were correct that how can you institute investigation then you say no official was found. Forensic investigation, Chair, that we are, I think from now we can say in 2 weeks to time it will be in other municipalities. The reason, Chair, we're doing that, we've said let's give those fingered in the report, let's give them the given opportunity to respond on the findings. It will depend on the report, must be given opportunity. And we're in that stage in most of the invest from now, we will be in the position of presenting those reports to different municipalities. I think, Chair, those are the response that one we can say. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much, MEC. Yeah, MEC, our concern is the issue about the investigation, municipalities investigating themselves. Is exactly the issue that was raised by the HOD, that these whitewash investigations. We are aware that municipalities do whitewash investigations, where they'll appoint their own friends to do the investigations. And it will cost us hundreds of thousands of rands in investigations, and it's a whitewash investigation. That's the first problem we have with these municipalities. Your report in municipalities have a tendency of challenging it in court. It's like challenging the AG's report. So they deal with it. But definitely in the committee's report, in our Scopus report, we will also send a report to COCTA nationally to look at section 106 that we need to deal with that one, and we also need to deal with the powers of impacts in municipalities. So maybe there's legislation that we'll have to do following the rands and sense of that are going missing in the country. Members, is there any other member that wants to ask further clarity before we continue?
Okay, Chair, there's an earlier contribution by Mr. Lis, if I can read it to you. It says,
just read it, please. Just read it, please.
Can you please ask for all reports, including draft reports, to be submitted to?
Honorable Mentor answered. What was Honorable Mentor's question?
Chair, I thought we did respond. The question was about the Indwetwe officials.
Okay, that's fine. So, Chair, if you can just respond to the question of the Honorable Lees about the reports to be submitted to cocktail within 14 days.
Chair, probably you will guide me on this one, in that our approach is that the investigations would have been conducted, tabled at the municipality by the MEC, and in our presence. I'm not quite sure then, it has not been a practice, if I may indicate so, whether I know for a fact that we also talk to the NCOP when we instigate or we investigate these reports. But may need to be guided really as to whether reports go to NCOP, they go to SCOPA. Yeah, but my colleague would also want to have an input into this response.
Mrs. Cavender, I assume Mrs. Cavender, the colleague you're referring to?
Yes, she is.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Norms Act requires the MEC to report to the institution to institute an reasons for that investigation, which we duly do. The Section 106(1)(b), however, the forensic report itself being provided, and I can see what the reason is for that, which I'll explain just now. But the NCOP must be provided with the outcome of the not provided, and has not been provided since the enactment, until such time that these reports are fully implemented. They contain findings and recommendations that impact on persons' liability, liberties, disciplinary and civil actions. They are witnessed. So the report is not circulated in forums, in any forums, until such time that the report is fully implemented. And there are at stake. And B talks to it off, which we have done, constitutes some sort of legal challenge, particularly for the MEC.
Okay, SCOPA can summons any citizen of the country, any minister, anybody, and when they get summoned before committee, they'll have to answer truthfully. If they don't answer the question, anybody can ask for any information. Mr. Kali, can you just advise on that?
Yes, Chair, we'll have to follow the correct protocol in terms of acquiring what needs to be acquired by SCOPA.
Okay. Okay. No, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Is there any other member that wants to ask a question?
I don't know if Ms. Mende is back on board, but there's a question that needs to be followed up on. Ms. Mende, are you here?
Ms.
Right, it doesn't look like she's back on board, but she wants to indicate that the answer regarding criminal cases against those who left municipalities after being implicated in financial misconduct hasn't been.
Now, if there's no further questions, any other member that would like to ask a question?
Chair,
Yes.
I raised my hand up here, but it seems like you don't see it.
No, I can't see. That's why I'm asking Sisin Tombi and Mr. Kali to assist me. Can you come in with your question to Honorable Piokas?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, mine is on the, it seems like there's a trend on the resignation of, or before conclusion of the cases. Is there a process to forfeit pension, forfeit pension, or is it a voluntary undertaking? And they just resign at this municipality, and then they are going to next municipality or in government official, a public servant. Then secondly, Chair, is the one of the time frames. I think there's no clear time frames. If we look, for example, at Newcastle, they just report that they await a decision from the municipality report given to the municipality for them to still wait now for the municipality to come back to them. Then Chair, on Kanakudi district municipality elapsed as the investigation to pursue disciplinary actions. I think, Chair, it's not good enough. And what will happen to the accounting officer for not implementing that exercise or the investigation? Then last question, but also one who monitor the effectiveness of internal controls in municipalities. Because in most, thank you, Chair.
Okay, there's five questions from Honorable Pukas, one question from Honorable Mente. Is there any other member that wants to ask a question so we can wrap it up? Mr. Kali and Sisintombi, do you all see any hands?
No hands here.
No, we don't.
Okay, right, then that was the last round of questions. If the HOD perhaps can respond to those for 5 questions from Honorable Pukas and the one from Honorable Mente. Thank you.
Yes, sir. There's questions. The members of the committee is what is bring or before and whether do we have a database for blacklisted individuals? At some stage, there were attempts by the National Department of Cooperative Governance to establish it, or it has been completed on your side to see whether this exercise is going to be done. It would help, Chair, to access that information, but as much we agree to give the response as they have done. What we are willing and what you have given an indication that some of the municipalities will be able to summon. Maybe it may be you may get better responses if you deal directly with them, because some of our responses are speculative. We do not know exactly whether what we're being told is the correct information. In our department, Chair, we've got a unit that deals with municipal investigations that is headed by Mrs. Governor. We also have our own internal audit or internal control unit. We also internally, but the key central unit on this kind of investigation becomes the municipal forensic unit, which is headed by Mrs. Governor. As Madam Honorable Mender raised, it's a valid one. We have said this, that these questions are parking you as much as they are parking us. That park is passed to someone else, or employees are allowed to exit the system without any form of a sanction. So some of these responses really are very similar and they're generic in their nature. And we're looking up to the committee to assist us in the legislative environment.
Thank you very much, HOD. If there's any further questions, Mr. Kali, I think we must allow that behind, because we need to do a discussion just to wrap up. But we really want to thank the MEC and for his team for the frank and honor we received from them and for the discussion.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chair. There's one matter that were requested by the Honorable Chairperson Administrator of Mtobatoba.
Oh, okay. Yes, the chair raised it with me.
Yes, we have prepared the report, but I just want to summarize that there was an allegation that Mr. Madondo, police, of which was correct, that was subjected to a police. There was a case that was opened at the court, or the police they withdrawn the case because of insufficient information. So that allegation was no longer there. So it was the Mr. Matondo was cleared through justice process. Hence, he's not, and as a department at the provincial level, as HOD have reported early that we don't have a database in the request by the chair. He raised that we have a database of to report on that so that we'll be on record. Thank you very much.
Okay, team, you can now be excused to continue doing your other duties. Scopa, please remain behind so we can continue the discussion. Thank you very much, MEC.
Thank you, Chairperson.
And HOD. Okay. Honorable members, are you all still on the platform? Can we continue with this discussion just to wrap it up?
Can we wait until they leave?
Yeah, okay. Are they not off yet?
No.
Yeah, just check for me, just see for me, Dobby.
Checking, I'm checking.
Okay.
I'm reconnected.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kali. Is only Scopa present now? Can we continue?
I can see there are people who are still here.
Maybe there's this channel.
Yes, you can continue.
Okay, so is members still on the platform?
It's only, no, it's not a lot of members. So yeah, it's only Belis, Tolashe, yes, and Bucas.
Yo, where is Lee still on the platform? Honorable Lee, Honorable Mente?
They're not here. So
You know,
we don't have quorum.
if you don't have quorum, yo, yeah, it's a bit disappointing that Honorable Lee and Honorable Mente was disconnected from the platform. I was expecting members to post more questions, but members were very conservative today with questions on these reports, because now we will have to discuss these reports, and we'll have to decide on the municipalities that we will have to summon to engage and decide which municipalities we will call for hearings. Mr. Kali?
He's gone as well.
Do we wait? Do we call?
No, what we'll do, we'll have to pick up those that you think we can call for the next hearing, and including the law.
Okay, what we have identified, I think we have the municipalities that came out very strong was Zululand, Nutu, Zululand, Honorable Mente. Can Honorable Bernice tell us which municipality that was? Honorable Bernice?
Yes,
Call for hearing.
I raised Josini Chair because to know how much the lawyers were paid and why they didn't use the SIU, and also with Josini, where they say the NPA decided not to pursue the case. We would like to know what are the reasons, Chair. So
it is Zululand and Harry Kuala and Richmond.
Yes.
Which municipality that Honorable Mente raised the issue? Sisintombi, are you still there? Mr. Nkabinde?
I've muted, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I've put all the...
Can you just read those municipalities out?
Mkanyagute, Newcastle, Zululand, Richmond. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, but those are too many now. Can't we rather leave out Newcastle and Herikwala?
Okay, we'll do that.
Let's cut those out, and then which are the ones remaining that you want to call?
Zululand, Richmond, Mutu, Jozini, Mkanyagute.
That's it. Let us settle on those municipalities. Can we agree to that, members that are present?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, we agree to that. Okay, no, thank you very much. Honorable, Mrs. Ntombi, is there any other matter before we close the meeting?
Next week, we've got a meeting on Tuesday on SAA. Wednesday, SIU are briefing us on ESCOM. And Thursday afternoon, we're having ESCOM.
Okay, so can you, today's report, can you forward it to all members, to us, to tell members, these are the municipalities that we want to call for hearings so that they can be informed of what has actually happened, right?
No problem.
Okay, right, members, sorry for the way the meeting was conducted and the breakups and members are not on the platform. Can we then thank you all for attending, and can we close this meeting of today? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Right.
I don't know how much I've missed. I'll check with Ndombi.
Yes, sorry about it, Mr. Kali. It was a bit hectic today. The people were, thank you very much. I'll sign off now, right?
Okay.